Okay, Mick, just following on from Tuesday's game against Cliftonville, a couple of days have been and passed. How have you reflected on the game?
Pretty much the same as I thought immediately after the game, that we did enough to get something out of it. At a minimum, we should have scored at least one, but I think we could have scored 3 or 4 on another night. But to give credit to Cliftonville, they worked really hard. I think they emptied the tank in terms of defensive effort, and they dug in well. They're a good team, they're well organised. So give them credit, they're a hard team to play against. But again, like I said after the game, we did enough we should have put the ball in the back of the net at least once or twice.
Looking ahead to Dungannon on Saturday, any update in the squad? Dylan Powers, Paddy McLean?
Dylan Powers, Paddy McLean, Joe Crow available again. But yeah, healthy squad, no injury after the Cliftonville game. So getting healthy again, getting players back, which is good. So we'll looking forward to getting them on the park.
And Stanmore Park, it's sort of a place where you'll have fond memories of, first game in charge and that as well, but how do you reflect on that as a venue? It's a sort of tight pitch. How are you looking forward to Saturday?
It's always a difficult place to go. Yes, my first game for Glentoran was there, but I remember going there early in that next season, and I think we lost 3-1 or 3-2 down there. And it's a place where if you don't show up to play, as is any team in this league, any opponent in this league, you don't come out of there with a result, and on their day they can hurt you. They scored a lot of goals this season. They've also conceded a lot, but it's a sign sometimes of a team that is young and enthusiastic, which they are. I think they're well coached and they're encouraged to play and attack. So we go there knowing that if we're not on our game, we'll make it very difficult for ourselves. But if we are on our game, we also believe that we can cause problems for them.
And Dungannon, they're a young sort of side, they're an exciting side with some really exciting players. I suppose they're going out every game, they've got a point to prove. It's an interesting prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they don't have all young players, but they got a lot of young players. And you get a lack of fear with them. They're brave, they're enthusiastic, they want to show themselves, and it's a credit to what Dungannon has done, not just now, but over the years. The players they produced out of there has been impressive. So it's a credit to their development in the whole area, from Dungannon United to Dungannon Swifts. There's a whole pipeline there of players from that area that have obviously been well coached and well brought up. So that's what you get at Dungannon. Good, enthusiastic, brave players that on their day can really hurt you. So we know from the first time we went there this season that they scored a couple of goals against us and had some great play that day. So we'll have to be organised, disciplined, and on top of our game. And I've told the boys that we have to continue to create chances like we did against Cliftonville. I mean, we were playing a Cliftonville team who on their day are a top side, and I thought we created multiple opportunities that just didn't fall for us. But if you create opportunities, as I always say, the hardest thing in football is to score goals. The next hardest thing is to create opportunities, and as long as we continue doing that, we'll get goals. And Tuesday night was just one of those days where it didn't fall for us.
And I actually heard you made a comment on UTV News about the crowd that was here for Tuesday night, well over 3,500. For Glentoran to be putting those sorts of numbers again and bringing more fans back, it's a real testament to the club and the way things are going.
It's superb. We're in our third season here, and as I've said before, the fans have continued to grow in numbers. The fans have really got behind us. Probably our away support is more vocal in terms of singing, and again, I've said maybe that's a consequence of them being crammed into a tighter space at away venues. But overall, they've been super. Probably they were deservedly critical of the game against Newry, the performance against Newry. Even though we won, it wasn't a great. We weren't happy with the performance either as players and coaches. So we get that. But overall, the fans have been super. Cliftonville brought over 1,000 fans, which is impressive. And I believe, to give you an example of where the league is at, I believe there's over 10,000 tickets sold for the League Cup final on Sunday. So league's in a good place. I think I know Glentoran has played a part in that, and it's exciting times for the league overall.
Yeah, and I suppose teams and even the league with the League Cup final, everybody's trying new and different ways to try and attract new fans, but also maybe bring people back that haven't been to an Irish league game in some years. I think that's quite an important thing in the years to come.
It's massive, and you have to be creative. I think only 2 seasons ago when I came here, it was mostly the 3 o'clock Saturday, 3 o'clock Saturday, 3 o'clock Saturday. No talk of a calendar shift that had been mentioned. I think our first game we played here on a Friday night was against Cliftonville, and it was suggested, don't do it, don't try it. We played Cliftonville here on a Friday night, and the place was packed. So I think if the league and the teams are open and creative, I believe next year could be an option to play Thursday night fixtures, Friday night fixtures, staggered times on Saturdays, and then maybe a big game on a Sunday as league fixtures. Why not? We already have games on Monday nights sometimes for Sky. But I think if we're flexible in our thinking, creative in our thinking, I think we can generate excitement around our league, invite new fans, but again, facilities. We need to have the nice facilities to accommodate more fans and new fans. But it's not just about the 2 hours to be here for the match. For example, some of these social clubs and hospitality areas at the clubs, you can have a match on a Sunday, and then there's also a match on TV on the Sunday, so you get the crowd remaining to watch the games in your bars and your hospitality. So I think if we look at it as a commercial venture and a day out for people, then I think our league's in a really good place, and I'm glad that we're part of it.
And 8 games to go in the league. A lot of people will be talking about it in their workplaces, their family and their friends, but what's sort of the mindset in Glentoran at the minute going into these last 8 remaining games?
The same as it always has been. I mean, the next 3 points in front of you are the most important. There's no point thinking, we have to beat that team or that team down the road. In football, it's the biggest game is the one in front of you. And our next 3 points, hopefully, are against Dungannon. And do I believe that any team will go the next 8 games undefeated or without drop points? Well, it'll be impressive if they do. But it's going to be a hard road for everybody, including us. So the next 3 points are most important. That's away to Dungannon, and we're only looking at that. And yes, we're aware of where we are in the table. We're 3 points off first place. We're now sitting in third, but there's a long road to go, and we've got belief in what we're doing, and we'll keep our foot to the pedal.